Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To send me and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Spent a long time trying to record something, and I keep getting interrupted every time. It's been like this 2 days straight because we're just really busy here. And, super busy. We are tied up. I want to give a shout out and a thank you to Congo Black for narrating the last one for me, for part one. And I want to give a shout out to Professor 238 for coming through on Cash App from the bottom of my black heart and from the depths of my black mind. Thank you. I'm trying to look through the last two streams just to be sure so that I can see if you left any questions there. I'm still looking. But I have to look for about 3 minutes a day only because that's just how busy and interrupted I always am. And my students don't learn. So I have to tell them the same things 2 and 3 times, and every time I walk out of my office, it's something else. I'm always busy. Always, till I get home. And my wife has actually said, well, listen, I'm going to run these errands. You stay here because I know you got work to do. But in order to get enough sleep, I have to pretend like I'm going to be working late, and then I just go ahead and go to bed early. And when she gets back, I'm already asleep, and she doesn't know that I had to do that to get enough sleep. It's not her fault, but that's what I have to do. But in this part two, I got to make it short because I have to go to class in a little bit. And I'm still behind. And sorry about the wind noise. There's just nothing I can do about that. But in this part two, I'm going to say to you guys that the only real issue with Vladislov Dickomdowski is that they still keep coming and blaming us. They still keep doing that. We still got more and more of these hyenas and a few simps joining them trying to blame this on us. And we're not, in reality, we're not the failures. It wasn't us. In reality, it just simply comes down to they have autonomy and they have choices. And the fact is that the women of our race, not one nationality, but of our race, have been the forerunners in demanding no authority from men ever be over them. They have talked about the role of the man, but they have also talked about no authority from the man. They have refused this again and again and again, and then turn around and talk about the role of the man when somebody can do something like what Vladislav Dickomdowski does to them. Now, Kenya and Ghana are not the only places in the world to which men have gone to do things like this. But what is a little bit different is that this is where Michael Oliver and Vladislav Dickomdowski went to do what they were doing to women who were not involved in any form of intimate work. In other words, they weren't necessarily selling box. He got it for free. This is something that has to be talked about. They went there to do this and to somewhat boast about it. DJ Kid did this to women that were not necessarily selling box. He did in South Carolina. I want you all to think about that too. You were not wrong for talking about the cheapness of the ladies that went along with this guy. You're not wrong for that. If you've observed it, you really saw it happen. and this is a matter of a public recording, well, a publicly available recording, I should say, then you're not wrong for that. It's not slander, it's not backbiting, it's something that was made obvious. They did this too easily. We know that they're not doing this that easily with any of us. And it doesn't matter nationality. How's it going? It doesn't matter what your first language is. It don't make a mother cuss word bit of difference. What matters to them was race. That's what it was. You're going to be blamed for even admitting that you noticed that. You still are going to have to admit that that's what it is, that we noticed it. We're not wrong for that. And there never was anything we could have done to change that. We didn't know it was this bad until Daughters of the Trade was published. Many of us had doubts about its veracity. I did. I wasn't about to take Becky's word for it against Sapphire. But then later on, people were able to say, no, that Becky that wrote this put down references. You can see where she got the info, and she didn't make it up. It's right there. They just, these simp dads of these women allowed these marriages. And these ladies got these colonizer husbands. And you think about it. What did men have to do within these cultures to qualify for marriage? Because we know that African ladies and their dads don't normally just make it easy. We know that. So now we have to stop and think. What about what these Danish men would have had to do had they been locals that they did not have to do because they were Danish to get the same results? Now what? You see where I'm going with this? This is a legitimate question and gripe, a question to ask and a gripe to have. This is legitimate. Matter of fact, if you have any good sense, you have to worry about this. You have to ask about this, because otherwise, you are not only being told by these ladies that you have to pay more for the same thing, but you have their simp dads pretty much on board with this. And this is where it started. And that is not okay. It's not okay for that to be the case. It is not all right that you had to do more and somebody else got to do less and get more out of it. That's not okay. You're not wrong or bitter for noticing that. And the same ones that want you to not notice that so that they don't call you bitter or insecure or take your pick are the same ones that won't respect you if you don't notice that. I don't understand why they get upset about it, because they're the ones who are saying, oh no, you're just being insecure if you even notice that, if you even say it. They're the ones who are saying this, but the fact remains that they still think of you as stupid if you don't. You don't notice that. Then they turn around and think, well, you must be an idiot. Like, how could you miss that? You must not be too smart. How did you not figure that out? I didn't charge him what I charged you. I didn't do that. I just gave it. He just got it on a strength of nothing. And you had to do this, that, and the other. And you were sitting up here now, still not noticing games that we played, even though we would never explain them to you and wouldn't admit that we played these games. You're still not noticing these games that we play on you. You're still being an idiot. You can't win. And so you now have a situation in which you have to look and decide if you even should be trying. And if you're a fool, or are you just too loyal if you even make the effort? And they're going to look at you like you're an idiot because you kept trying and you kept making the effort. They're going to look at you like you deserved what you got because you were willing to try that hard. Yeah, you're going to have to really do like what AC has been saying. And it's sad, but they made that choice. Not you. They made that choice. You're going to have to make your mind up that Keisha does not have a chance. They can't respect you. And I have had to understand this. They cannot respect you as long as you give them a chance. From the point that you give them a chance, they're looking at you like, oh God, what's wrong with this dude? I can't believe that he's even willing to keep trying. I can't believe this guy is staying with us. I can't believe this guy is pro us, fist in the air, a nationalist. I can't believe he's on that Ungawa Black Power, Dr. Umar Johnson business. I can't believe that he's on that stuff when here I am swirling. But I want to say before I go that this is the third chance we've gotten. And we better take advantage of this third chance. And we better say to these young bloods, this is an opportunity and a training exercise for you. This is where you can train yourself in the use of that muscle that denies accountability, exactly like they say you are not a man if you do, because frankly, you need to stop. Don't take accountability. And as a matter of fact, we now have exactly what the hell it takes on video for us to be able to play and tell any one of these simp dads when they start coming up and saying, why aren't you brothers trying? Because their daughters are turning late 30s and still ain't found nobody. Knowing damn well they had a shotgun when the daughters were in the 20s. And they start coming along and saying that, then you can sit up and show the video and you can say, if he can get that for nothing, then why the hell do we have to meet standards for her? Matter of fact, you can even show that to the dads if you're trying to be polite and you respect the dad. You could just treat him like he doesn't know because he may not, and say, did you know that these guys can come and get all of this out of them for nothing while we have to meet these standards? See, when these men come with this business of the community and building and who's going to be there for our daughters, that's when you reply back to them and you say, listen, nobody's going to be. And here's why. Because frankly, you're coming to tell me that maybe I'm not being man enough, or maybe my age group and cohorts aren't being man enough. Well, here's what I'm coming to tell you. Maybe you are not her mother's type. And maybe you never were. Watch this video. I say that because even if these men say, no, man, I know I'm a type. We've been together for however many years. That'll be the last time he tries it on you. He ain't going to try that conversation with you no more.
And if he goes to some other men and tries to tell them that, and they show him the same video and say the same thing to him, he's going to begin to realize that at the very least we had evidence and it got out. The argument is over. I hope this helps. Thank you for listening. And I promise part 3 will be better if I can make a part 3. Thank you for flying with us here on Jet Black Air, where the phrase jet black is also a verb. Keep jet black with us till the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender, justice, forever.